All right, in this video, what we're going to look at is creating pixel art or reducing down a realistic image down to its basic pixels or as small as we can get. And what I've created here, I've created a grid for us to use. Now, that's all you have to do is utilize this that I've given you, this worksheet or this template here. And under the grid layer, you're going to see that you have this grid that's already set up for you. There's 50 pixels by 50 pixels, so that's 2,500 pixels. You're going to color each one of those, and you're going to place your image here on this layer, and you don't have to worry about this layer here. So the way it's going to work is, let me just go step by step here. What I've done here is I've brought in an image, and I placed it underneath the grid, and I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. Then I'm going to use Photoshop to go in and play with some adjustments that I've done here. You're going to take those images, you're going to copy them, and you're going to place them back into Illustrator, and then you're just going to save the Illustrator file as a PDF. So let's get started. So what I've done, I'm going to take an image. Now this is a very important part. I'm just going to copy that image, paste it in here. This is important because number one, I don't want the image to be so small and then you scale it up. I don't want that. I want you to be able to have an image that is already fairly large and then you scale it down. So it should be a really, really good quality, high resolution image. The image itself shouldn't really have any flat areas. It should be a full photorealistic image, proper photograph that you took, whatever the case is. And you're going to be spending a lot of time with it. So we definitely want an image that you like, that you enjoy, that you want to play with, and you're going to get some really interesting outcome from it. So what I've found here, I found, some interesting hues here, greens and reds. Of course, you could have way more hue, a lot of different saturation, and a lot of different values. So that's definitely what we want to look for. So the image itself should be very, an initial base of a lot of hue, a lot of values, a lot of saturation. What I'm going to do next, I place this picture onto the image layer. So there it is. And obviously it's going to go underneath the grid because the grid is on top. And now I could even shut the grid off for a second. Just, okay, how do I want to position this? Maybe I want it here because obviously your image price is not going to be square. This artboard is a 10" by 10". So ideally you could crop it, kind of position it any way you want. If you want to use the trim view feature, trim view, it's going to shut off anything that's going to be on the sides and only shows what's on the artboard. And maybe that gives you a better understanding of what it's going to look like. So maybe I'll do something like that for now, just playing around. And I'll go out of trim view again, view, trim view. There we go. So I'm going to put the grid back on. Now, this is the tricky part that we could play with. Actually, it's a cool trick in Illustrator that makes this go much easier. Is all of the grid, all these little squares are on the grid. So what I'm going to do first, because I don't want the image to move, I'm going to lock the image so it cannot move. Definitely don't want that moving on us. These individual squares are all white. They're white fills. And what we could do now is I can actually press Command. I press Command on this eye, Command click on the eye. What it does, it actually just outlines everything that's on that layer. I could still access it just like that, but I don't see the actual fills or the strokes. I just see the outline, which is going to be very, very helpful here. So I'm going to zoom out again. So that's a Command click on the eye, brings everything back. Command click again. It's just a toggle back and forth between outlining what's on that layer and, of course, what is, if I Command click again, it shows me obviously what is on that layer. So I did a decent way where I zoomed in a little bit so I could see my full length of my 50 pixels by 50 pixels. It just helps a little bit. Kind of just to see where I'm at, but you can zoom in much closer. Of course, it's entirely up to you, whatever you prefer. So once again, I'm going to Command click. I'm going to select the first pixel, which is V. So I'm going to be using my keyboard shortcuts quite a bit. V for selection and I for the eyedropper. So this is how it's going to go. And now I'm going to show you the full, I do this whole thing in the video, but I'm going to speed it up. I click, press I, and the creativity or the idea here, what we're supposed to look for is an image, or there's many, many pixels in here, many, many, many pixels. Now it's your job to pick the pixel that makes the most sense. See, if we zoom in really, really close, we see all these tiny little pixels. Your job is to pick the pixel that makes the most sense, that is going to fill the entire square. So here, do I pick this darker area or do I pick the lighter area? Well, the lighter area kind of matches what's going to happen here with the lighter area, and so on and so on and so on. So that is kind of where we have to be a little bit smarter about, okay, which pixel actually is going to make the most sense to help me define this image in the most kind of reduced way. So once again, V, click, I to select. I'm going to click right there. Okay. Now it looks like maybe nothing happened, but it did. And it even shows me that there is a fill on that pixel or on that square. V again, I again. and I'm going to pick another color. It's probably going to match something that I've just done. So I'm going to click, cool, V, and then I again. And I'm going to keep on clicking. I'm going to keep going, V, and I, and V, and I. And I'm going to keep doing that all the way for every single pixel. Now, if I want to see what's going on, or maybe I've missed something, or maybe I'm not happy with maybe the way that, this pixel here is kind of interesting because, do I choose these pixels or do I choose these pixels? Same over here. Do I choose these red pixels or this pixels? It all depends on how you want it to look and how that image is going to be looked at when we look at it, when we zoom out. So once again, if I'm going to press Command click on the eye again, or obviously on a PC, it's a control click. Now it shows me which ones have been filled in, and so on and so on. And you're going to do every single one just that way. You're going to press V, Command the eye, click on a pixel, V, and eyedrop it. That's it. You're just going to go over that many, many times. And this is the outcome. Now, when I zoom out, you could really see, okay, you could kind of tell far away what this image is. As you zoom in, you can still tell, but as you zoom in to the proper 100%, you see obviously all these really reduced down pixels that make up the image, but you see how they kind of come together, how they make sense, and you might even have a situation like, should I have gone the red here? Maybe there was green in there. If I bring back the image here, Command click, could I have, where is it here? Well, I place everything on that layer there. I got you. Let's fix that. Click you, bring you up there. And there we go. And could I have, chosen a different, color here, right here? Could I've, maybe chosen a red instead and kind of filled out the red and not have this kind of weird green shape happening? Could I have done that? Of course. Could I have done, something down here? So the idea is playing around and even going back in later and saying, you know what, I think this actually should be red. So I'm going to click on that one, Command click so I can see it again. I'm going to zoom in, I'm going to eye, and I'm going to eyedrop it. And now when I Command click, I'll see, okay, now it makes a little more sense. Maybe that's better. You can always go back in and change these anytime you want. Now that is done, you have your image. You can shut that image off. You don't need it anymore. That image went down there. I'm going to select these pixels, and I just need the pixels because now it's vector artwork. I select the pixels, I copy them, Command C. I'm going to go into Photoshop, and here is the other artboard I've given you. So all 6 artboards are here for you. And that's all you're going to do is you can select the one artboard that you want to place them on first. So we're going to go with the hue artboard. So I'm going to Command V, and I'm going to make Smart Pixels. And because it's already selected, this artboard selected, the image will directly go into that artboard. And if for some reason it does it, you can just click and drag it in, and it's going to snap to it. Because once again, this is also a 10 by 10, so it's going to fit perfectly. Now you could populate each one of these right away, or you could do it one by one. But the main idea of what we're going to do here is we're going to now play around with changing the hue, the saturation, values, and temperature. So how do I do that? Well, I'm going to use adjustment layers. So I'm going to click on the pixels that I just brought in. I'm going to go down and I'm going to click on my adjustment layers, the black and white circle. And if I want to change the hue, I would probably go to the hue and saturation adjustment layer. And once again, we're just playing around. Can I play around with saturation lightness too? Of course. But if we're just going to play around with the current pixels I have and those purities and those saturations, I'm just going to move the hue slider over, just kind of play around and see what I can come up with. This is all, we're just playing around. But once again, this is part of the color exploration. We're seeing what changes, what happens. We're seeing that some of the colors in the background aren't changing as much, but the reds are. And we're just kind of playing around and seeing what we can come up with. That's interesting. Happy with that. Looks great. Next, I'm going to click on saturation. Same thing, Command V, Smart Objects. And once again, it places it directly into that artboard. I press Enter. I'm going to want to change the saturation. Once again, I could click on the adjustment layer and add either a hue and saturation, or let's try vibrance. I could do both. If I brought in hue saturation, I could just bring down the saturation, or I could bring it up. But what I could do with the hue and the vibrance adjustment layer is I'm going to shut this one off. And I can now, once again, I play around the vibrance. The vibrance still does keep some chroma. It's obviously looks more neutral. Or I can go far more vibrant, and I can bring the saturation up too, so I can make it very, very saturated. Or, like I said, the saturation could be less. You could have less saturation. And I don't really want to go grayscale. I don't want to go achromatic. I definitely would like, if you want to play with neutrals, that's totally fine. But for the most part, I play around with pure and desaturated. On the next one, we're going to look at value, darker. So I'll click on that artboard, Command V, and right there, press Enter, another adjustment layer. This time, if I'm playing around with value, I'm probably going to add in, I'm sorry, let me click on that artboard just to make sure. There it is. I'm going to click on that, and I added a mask accidentally. There we go. Click on that layer. I'm going to click on the adjustment layer, and I'm going to add for value. I could do a couple different things. Any one of these, brightness, contrast, levels, curves, or exposure. I'll just do with this one, brightness and contrast. And once again, I can make it brighter, which makes it lighter pixels, or I can make it darker. Then I can play around the contrast itself, high contrast, or a lot of mid-tones. And we're just playing around. That's all. So this one's supposed to be darker, went a little darker. The next one, value lighter. I'm going to try a different one this time. I'm going to Command V. Once again, I'm on that artboard. Command V and just place it right in. Press Enter. And this time I'm going to play with curves this time. You know, I need to make it lighter. So what I'm going to do up here, I'm going to make it kind of go lighter this way. I could play around with those, but I'm looking to make the whole thing lighter. So we're just kind of playing around. Now, I don't want to wash them out, like overexpose it, obviously. But I want to keep those decent hues in there. Or sorry, decent values, but I do want to lighten everything up. So once again, with that, whichever adjustment layer you choose, which is totally fine. Command V again, okay. And I'm going to click on that, adjustment layers. Now this time I'm changing temperature. I'm going to use a couple different ones. I'm going to use color balance, which is one of my favorite ones to use. If I could play with each individual area, shadows, midtones, or highlights. I'll start with shadows. Now shadows, like I said, I want the whole thing to be warmer. So I'm just gonna bring up a little red, a little yellow. That's usually what I do. The midtones, I bring up a little red, a little bit yellow. And then the highlights, same idea, a little bit of red, a little bit of yellow. And we can see kind of shutting it on and off. We can see the warmth that was added to that based on relative to the initial pixels I brought in. Well, once again, of course, you can make it much more warmer and stuff like that, but we don't want to, you know, get rid of or make everything too similar in terms of hue here. That's what's happening. I'm just playing around with making it a little bit warmer or a lot warmer, but it's entirely up to you how you want to do that. The last one, Command V, once again, I press OK. This time, I'm going to add a slightly different one. I'm going to use the photo filter. And what the photo filter does, it just allows me, I could use some already default filters, warming filter, three warming filters, 3 cooling filters, different colors, or I could even just add a color. So let me just show you that. I need to cool this one down. So let's just choose that one and see what the density, oh, it's up here accidentally, sorry. And I'll see how that cools it. I can play around with the density of that, how much of it actually shows up. So I'm cooling it down. Or of course I can choose a color, any color I want. One of the coolest colors is blue green. And let's go there and see what that does. Okay, that's interesting too. So you can choose either one you want, and that is it for Photoshop. I'm done. Now what I want to do, the last part is I want to select the pixels of each individual one and place it back into Illustrator. So what I do is very simple. I'm going to select back on my first artboard and Command A. So everything gets selected, as you can see. Everything gets selected. And I'm going to do an edit copy merged, which is Shift Command C. Edit copy merged. I go back into Illustrator. And I go into my artboard. I select my artboard just by clicking on it. I see a little line goes around it. Command V. And I place that in there. That's it. And because it's selected, if I want, with my control panel open, I could align and make sure it's on artboard, align to artboard, and now it's perfectly aligned. And that's it. Done. Let's do the rest of them. So I am done with that. Command D to deselect, Command D. And I'm going to go to my next artboard, Command A. And there I am. Once again, everything's selected, edit, copy merged, which once again, Shift Command C. I go to Illustrator. Now what I'm doing is, as I'm pasting them in, what I'm actually doing is I'm embedding them. I'm embedding everything. So what I would like to do is understand that I'm embedding. I can go to my links panel. I see everything's being embedded. Now, because these files are so small, it doesn't actually make our file too big for submission or that. So we're actually looking pretty good. And I'm just going to keep on going. So I'll go back to Photoshop. Command D, click on the new artboard, Command A, Shift Command C, go back into Illustrator, Command V. And I'm just moving it. If I want to align it and make sure it's perfect, I will align to artboard center, and I'll just keep going here. Command D, Command A, Shift Command C, Illustrator, Command V, just placing it in, and it should snap in quite fine. Shift Command C to copy merge. So just copying everything. Copying merged, I should have mentioned, what it's doing is actually selecting everything that's visible. So it's not just selecting these pixels, or it's actually selecting everything, including the adjustment layers and what it's doing to it. So that is to make, instead of just copying, that's not going to help. And the last one, Command D, select new, Command A, Command Shift C, Illustrator, Command V. There we go, done. So now that that's all done, let's pretend everything was done there. So let's go back to this one here. Everything's complete. That's all and when all your artboards are there too, and they're all labeled properly. All your layers are there. All your grid, your entire grid is on the grid layer. Sorry, I should do that. I think I messed this one up on mine. I'll put everything on the grid layer. There we go. And I have my image layer there as well. I could turn that on and off. You could keep it off for now. I could always turn it back on. It's entirely up to you. And I'm just going to make a PDF. So file, I always save a copy, always save a copy, but make sure you save your AI properly, save a copy. Desktop, save it properly, last name, first initial, section number, when it eventually comes up. And when I do select PDF, I'm going to want all the artboards, so you don't have to change the range. Desktop, and you would save it properly there, and that's it. So I'm not going to, let's just do it anyways. It does not need to be, just normal press quality is fine, because all these are vector pixels anyway, so that's all I really need. And you save it and you're good to go. So I hope that helps put it all together and understanding playing with the pixels and how we could reduce down these images to simpler forms, but still get a lot of understanding from those images, even though we took away a lot of information. And then of course, how to play properly with selecting those pixels and which ones work best to make up the image.